Hey, my loves. So today, we have a very, very amazing topic to talk about that I've came upon during my doula studies, and it's concerning fertility. And by studying more about the topic, I've noticed that there not so much information about what you can do naturally to increase your fertility, because mostly when a woman is not fertile, it's they run to those um, stations where they put an egg cell of you and then the sperm of your man and then create a baby in a laboratory, which in my opinion can be avoided because as a woman you can get pregnant very easily. And I can say, even if you've been trying to get pregnant, if you've been trying to conceive for the longest, there are maybe some things that I'm going to mention in this video that will still have you shook and that maybe work out, and then you get a baby on the way. So, first of all, you are a woman. So, in being a woman, it's already in your nature to be fertile. Fertility has always been linked with femininity, and your femininity is what is going to help you increase your fertility. And you can do this in many, many ways. Now, usually, we as women think femininity is beauty, just looking beautiful, looking perfect, but that's not a case. Femininity has so many different sides to it, so many different facades, and you can completely create and find your own femininity. And in order to do that, you can sit down and write what you perceive as feminine, what you think is feminine, and then what makes you feel feminine. Now, a few examples of that would be making yourself beautiful, dressing a little up, putting a little bit of makeup on. But you know, if you like doing lots of makeup to create new looks and it makes you feel feminine and beautiful, that's fine. But mostly what the marketing and when you look at social media is subconsciously teaching women is, you're not perfect, you need to get a bigger butt, bigger boobs, smaller waist, smaller butt, smaller waist, perfect skin. And this is not about being perfect, this is about being beautiful. And as a woman, you are already beautiful. And what you can do is to enhance that naturally. So look in your face and see what do you like the most about your face. And then find ways, for example, to enhance that a little bit. And this is not about hiding anything. So if you have been using makeup to hide your face, then try to use makeup to enhance your beauty. What I have been doing for almost half a year is actually being completely without makeup and getting used to my natural face. Because in the past I used to like lots of mascara, lots of lashes, and I was all about making my eyes bigger, putting makeup on, rouge, and plugging my eyebrows like super thin. But this was also hiding what my face actually looks, because I have thicker eyebrows by nature. So if you've been a woman that has been wearing tons of makeup, try to go completely nude in your face for a while and get to know what you really think and feel is beautiful about you. And this can go in even deeper levels, because sometimes when a woman is not getting pregnant, it can be that she's resisting how the way her face and her body looks, because she thinks, oh, I wish I would have thinner legs, thicker legs, I wish I just would look different in whatever way she thinks. And this can actually block you, because what this does is, to you, you're basically saying to yourself, oh, you're not good enough, I am not good enough. And usually what happens then is we expect our men or other people around to tell us that when we don't feel beautiful, that we're beautiful. But it has to come from here. So you want to find your worth as a woman within you. And that is by accepting the way you look right now. No matter what it looks like, you are beautiful already, just the way you are. What you can do is you can, with sports and with your nutrition, you can help to feel more beautiful, to feel more womanly, and to feel better, but you are already beautiful just the way you are. So you can even write affirmations and mantras to remind you of your worth, of your beauty as a woman. And there has been lots of women where this was exactly the little thing that kept them away from being pregnant. No matter how many times they slept with their husbands, no many times they had sex with their man, it just wouldn't happen. But this little thing, accepting your own beauty, just flipped the switch and they got pregnant in no time. Another thing that may be preventing you from successfully conceive is that you're a lot in your masculine energy. Now, every one of us has yin yang, feminine and masculine energies. Now, as a woman, you have a little bit more feminine energy usually, and as a man, you have a little bit more masculine energy. And this has nothing to do with gender because everyone has this masculine and feminine side. Nobody is like really neutral, because we all have this yin yang within us. So when a woman is really much focused on her work and trying to climb up the ladder in her career, she's in her masculine energy, which is powerful, getting things done, very, very active, very warm. Where in comparison, feminine energy is really passive, it's receptive, it's slow motion. So it can be that you're in a point in your career where you actually want to get further, but at the same time you want to get pregnant. Now then there's a conflict because you're in your masculine energy, but you also want to get pregnant. But what happens is when you're too much in your masculine energy, you're closing down. It's like a flower. When you see a flower outside, not all but some of them, when it starts to rain and the weather gets harsh, they close down. Like they blossom when the sun is coming out, but they close down when the rain and harsh weather comes. And this is exactly what your womb or what you're doing on a physical level. Even though you have sex lots of times, if you're in that masculine energy and that go, 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 it's like you're closing down and nothing can come through that. So if you have like still a goal left that you want to achieve in your career before you want to get pregnant, then fine, you can do that, and you'll see after that when you completely focus on relaxing and getting pregnant, it'll work. If you hear a feeding, that's my puppy in the background. Yeah, but let's say you've already in that place where you've taken all the time to get pregnant and you're still not getting pregnant. Here's another thing that could prevent you from getting pregnant naturally. It's that you've been using birth control or birth control or any sort of hormones to prevent pregnancy. If you have been doing that for a couple of months, couple of years even, what happens is you don't get your period naturally. The little bleeding you have in between is just your body reacting to getting the hormones that it doesn't need out. So there wasn't even a case where your egg cell could ripe and then be released through your period. So you haven't had your egg grow and being released for a month or even years. Now when you get rid of birth control pill or injections or whatever, some women, they actually get fast pregnant because then they're overproducing. But some women, they can actually, their body needs to clean out those hormones first because it was just too much. Your body couldn't handle all these hormones. So she wants to clean them all out so that you can come back into your natural cycle of becoming fertile and then releasing the egg having your period, and so on. It's going in a cycle. So if that's the case and you've been trying for, let's say, a couple of months to get pregnant and it hasn't worked yet, but you have taken birth control with hormones for over a month or years, then just be a little more patient with yourself and give your body the time it needs. And this is another thing that is quite big, because in our modern world, we have become very, very impatient. Like with Amazon Prime, if we want something, we expect it to be there by tomorrow. When we want something to achieve, we want to achieve results tomorrow, Prime-like. But this is not the case. Your body is natural. Your body needs the time it needs. So be patient with yourself and give your body the time it needs. And I can tell you, if you have this strong desire in your heart to be a mother, to have children, then know that this desire is preparing the space for your future child already to come in. And by being patient with yourself, you're also learning to be patient with your child one day, right? Because they're all over the place and they're gonna test your patience in a big, big way. So being patient with yourself in the state of becoming pregnant is helping a really big deal. Another thing that could be the case where you're not yet getting pregnant is that now this might sound maybe a little silly, but you had a little fight, a little disconnection, a little moment of misunderstanding, miscommunication with your man, and you haven't opened up how you felt about it, you haven't spoken with him about it, or you think like, oh, it's not that important, I just, whatever. But what happens is when you sleep with your man, as a woman, you open up. And when you have resentment because of whatsoever, you're closing down. So again, then can't happen. So if there's anything that you feel like is emotionally blocking that is between you and your man, then get that out of the way, speak it out, sleep it out, whatever is your method of dealing with miscommunication, misunderstandings, do that. Then, yeah, it could also be the case where you're not getting pregnant is that that your man is not your first man. So you've had other experiences with men before and and maybe some of them weren't positive at all. Maybe some of them were quite toxic. Now, if you haven't healed that yet, it is still within you, because when you have sex with a man, you let him in the most intimate space that you can offer. So if you still have a resentment against men in that case, subconsciously your man is a man. So when you then sleep with him, even though you feel like, that was in the past, it can still affect it and might be the reason that you're not getting pregnant. So there are tons of beautiful exercises that you can do to cleanse yourself of that stuck energy and to heal negative experiences that you had in previous relationships. Louise Hay has beautiful things, and you can pray to God to release this energy. You can do some self-care, self-love rituals. You can release this energy by writing it on a paper, everything that hurt you, and then you can burn it, which is very effective. And then you can get rid of this energy. And something that is really similar to that is for those of you who have grown up with toxic mothers, toxic fathers, absent fathers. Now, of course, when you want to become pregnant and be your own mother and your man a father, but you resent motherhood in some way or you resent fatherhood in some way, this can emotionally and spiritually, physically block you as well in huge ways. So the best thing to deal with that is, again, what you can do. You can go with the healing methods that appeals the most to you. If you want to go to therapy, you can do that. There is amazing family therapists out there. But if that's not your case, then you can write down all the positive aspects you connect with motherhood and fatherhood. And then you can write what you've experienced that was negative in regards of motherhood and fatherhood on a paper, and you can burn that. And you can look at it and say, okay, this was my experience, but I'm a complete different person. Just because my mother and my father was absent, toxic, whatever, doesn't mean I'm going to be that. Because I am my own person.